No, I'm feeling thoroughly refreshed. Well, I mean, first of all, I think it'd be remiss not to mention the situation with regards to Alex Ferguson and all the hoo-ha about him losing a job, or did he lose a job? But like with Manchester United, isn't it? There's so many things that are newsworthy, and it's.
Hello and welcome back to Premier League predictions from the panel. My name's Matthew Christ, and joining me back, refreshed, I hope, from his international break is Brian McClair. Any injuries or knocks to report from your time
No,
away, Brian?
no, I'm feeling thoroughly refreshed. The only participation I had in the internationals this week was watching Scotland playing Portugal the other night, which wasn't the most wonderful viewing. However, it was a nice result for Scotland.
Okay, well, luckily for us, Scotland don't feature on the panel's Premier League predictions, but we are going to look ahead to week 8 of this Premier League season, which starts on Saturday at 12:30 with a London derby. It's Tottenham versus West Ham.
Yeah, the Hammers came from behind to win this fixture 2-1 last year. However, they've not won consecutive games at Spurs since 1966. It's the 8th time that these teams have met after an international break, and Spurs are unbeaten in the 7 previous matches with 4 wins and 3 draws. And I'm going to plump for Spurs home win again. I've suggested it could be Spurs 3, West Ham 1.
Okay. Let's crack on then, the 3 o'clock games, and we head to Craven Cottage for Fulham versus Aston Villa.
Well, Fulham are unbeaten in all of their 3 Premier League home games this season, which is the best run they've had since 2011 when they went 4. Villa have lost just one of the last 12 games in London, and I suspect this will be a very close game. Fulham 1, Villa 1.
Okay, and next up it's Ipswich Town versus Everton. You got the Everton monkey off your back a couple of weeks ago, and
Yeah, well, I'm hoping that run will continue. No wins for Ipswich in 7 Premier League games. They have never gone 8. Everton are winless in their last 14 Premier League away games, drawing 5 and losing 9. But I'm going to go for another Everton away win. Ipswich 1, Everton 2.
you can see them stringing together a run, can you? They'll be going for the Champions League at this rate. If you
As I've said all the way through, I don't think Everton have played that badly in all the fixtures they've had, So I'm fairly confident, considering the form of both teams, that Everton can go there and pull off a win.
Okay, you mentioned a Dower 0-0 at the top of the show, featuring Scotland and Portugal. The Dower 0-0 a couple of weeks ago was Aston Villa versus Manchester United. I think probably one of the worst games we've seen this season. United follow that up with a home game against Brentford on Saturday. What are your thoughts on this one?
Well, I mean, first of all, I think it'd be remiss not to mention the situation with regards to Alex Ferguson and all the hoo-ha about him losing a job, or did he lose a job? I don't know the exact facts, but I would suspect that he's agreed to the cost cutting because knowing what he's like, and his feeling for the club, and certainly a number of employees at the club, probably a lot of have lost their jobs, who he has known that he would be comfortable sacrificing any financial gain that he was getting, hopefully for the benefit for everyone who's still employed there. But like Manchester United, isn't it? There's so many things that are newsworthy, and it's quite easy to take up the opposite view that he was sacked, or because that's what makes headlines and makes interest in media for people. I
But
suspect he's.
you think he's that kind of guy, do you? That he's looked around, he's seen the situation at the club, and
I think so. Yeah, knowing what he's like, and knowing what his idea of that. That he's always been a man of the people, and certainly for the people were part of his employment or employees. Yeah, I think he would feel that it was the right thing. Maybe he even suggested it. Who knows? At one point, we may get to the clear indicator of what it is. It's very much Radcliffe and Ineos bashing at the moment.
Hmm. Okay, well, we shall see. But matters on the pitch that even Fergie can't do anything about. It's Brentford on Saturday.
Well, United have won the last five home league games versus Brentford, with the last defeat coming in February 1937, although they haven't been playing each other that often in the subsequent years. Um, Brentford have lost all three away games this season and have not gone for four straight since 1961-62, when they lost their first nine, would you believe, on the road. United haven't scored in the last three. The last win, four in April 1988, 89, sorry, when I was in the team, although I don't think I was playing as striker anymore at that point. I've not checked the facts of that. Uh, I'm going for Manchester United 3, Brentford 1.
Okay, more goals, another 3-1. And it's a big trip for Brighton. They're going all the way up to Newcastle. So St James's Park, Newcastle versus Brighton.
Well, it's not a really big trip anymore because they fly all over the place now, isn't
I'm
it?
sure the fans don't.
It's not, well, the fans won't be, yeah, of course not. Yeah, you didn't mention that. Um, Newcastle are unbeaten in their last 11 home games with 6 wins and 5 draws. Uh, Danny Welbeck has been involved in 5 goals and 7 Premier League appearances this season so far, 4 goals and 1 assist. Just one fewer than he managed in 29 games last season, where he got 5 goals and 1 assist. So look out for Danny again this weekend. Newcastle 2, Brighton 1.
Yeah, I know you're a big fan of Danny Welbeck, probably going back to his United days. What is it that's brought about this purple patch that he's enjoying at the minute, do you think?
Um, well, I think that Brighton seem to be playing a style of football that's suiting him in the position that he's playing in. I think they're playing a lot more attacking style. I think previously they've played a game where they've been expecting the opposition, or trying to tease the opposition into pressing them, and then playing uh, from the back forward. I think they've playing football a lot more in the opposition's half. Also, that because they've been doing ever so well, I think there's a great confidence in the whole team, and they look as if they feel that they can get a result in every game that they're playing.
Okay, and that leads us on to Southampton versus Leicester.
Well, Leicester, surprisingly, along with Aston, have scored in every Premier League game this season. Southampton are winless in their last 20 Premier League games, drawing 5 and losing 15. If they don't win this game, it will be their longest winless run in their top flight history. And I'm going to go against them. Southampton 1, Leicester 2.
Okay, that brings us to half time here on Premier League predictions from the panel. We're going to have a quick ice bath and a drink and a change of ends, and we'll be right back after this break. Hello and welcome back to the panel's Premier League predictions for week 8 of this Premier League season. 5:30 on Saturday evening is Bournemouth hosting high-flying Arsenal. How do you see this one going, Brian?
Well, if Arsenal win this game, they'll become the second team to reach 2,000 wins in top flight football in the history of the English game, alongside, well, surprisingly enough to me, it's Liverpool. Uh, the Cherries are winless in their last 11 games against teams in the top half of the table. Arsenal have won their last 4 meetings with Bournemouth by an aggregate score of 13 goals to 2, scoring at least 3 in each game. Don't think things are going to change for Bournemouth on Saturday evening. Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 2.
Okay, Arsenal roll on, it would seem. And so let's go on to the Sunday games. The first one is at 2 o'clock. It's at Molineux. It's Wolves against Manchester City.
City's talisman striker Haaland has scored 8 times in 4 Premier League games against Wolves, but has only managed 1 goal in this fixture at Molineux. City have developed a little bit of a habit of conceding the first goal in their Premier League fixtures this season, but have come back to get reasonable results. Wolves are the only team in the Premier League to lose all of their home games thus far, all three. They haven't lost four in a row at the start of a season in their history. But I'm predicting that will be the case with Wolves 1, City 3.
Yeah, no surprises there. I don't think many people would argue against you. 4:30. It's another juicy uh, game on TV. It's at Anfield and it's Liverpool versus Chelsea.
Well, along with Liverpool, Chelsea have won all their away games in the Premier League this season. However, they've only won once at Anfield in their last 9 visits. And Liverpool have only lost 2 of their last 19 league games versus Chelsea. With that, considering all those things, I'm going to go for a home win, unsurprisingly. Of course, you just don't know what's going to happen after the international break. But Liverpool 2, Chelsea 0.
Okay. Are you surprised in the way that Arne Slot has slotted in so seamlessly at Anfield? I mean, as you well know, with what's happened at Old Trafford, sometimes a manager leaving and a replacement coming in can cause all kinds of upheaval. But there seems to be a seamless transition there at the minute.
Well, I think this gets down to, of course, there's the philosophy of his football and what he's trying to do. So right away, you can see that the defence is much stronger, in the sense all the statistics point towards Liverpool being the best defence so far in the Premier League. And of course, it's I've mentioned before, they've got very good players. So they've got the defence sorted out, and they've got midfield. They've got very good but strong midfield. But the forward three, whoever they choose from six, is probably the best in the Premier League. And as I say, it's about good players. They've got lots of good players playing well, scoring goals, not losing goals. And then, I mean, championship form or champion winning form is the kind of game where they, in the last fixture, where they maybe not played at the best, but they don't concede a goal and they score a goal and they come away with a 1-0 victory. That's very good signs early on for Liverpool.
Okay. And we have a Monday night game this week. Haven't been one for a while, I don't think. Not a memorable one anyway. And it's Nottingham Forest hosting Crystal Palace.
Well, Forest haven't scored more than 2 goals this season so far, and I've kept only one clean sheet. I've only kept one clean sheet in the last 6 games. Although with Chris Woods is in reasonable scoring form for them with 4 goals in the games he's played so far. And Palace have only failed to score one out of the last 6 games. So I'm looking at Forest and Palace to be recording goals on Monday. I'm going to go for a Forest win. Forest 2, Palace 1.
Okay. The full-time whistle has blown on this edition of Premier League Predictions. Find out how Brian gets on over the weekend. And don't forget to comment below if you agree or disagree with his predictions. And we'll see you again next week.